Hello YouTube and welcome to the VFX tutorial on our short film Cloney Baloney. My name is Tim, I'm the second half of my brother Tyler, and I directed and edited this film, and I'm going to show you how I did what I did for this movie. I did everything in Adobe After Effects CS6, which I picked up for around $600, but I know not everyone has that amount of money. So what I'm going to do as well is show you how to do it in HitFilm 3 Express, which is 100% free for everyone, and it's a great program. So first things first, let's jump into After Effects. So before you even think of editing, you first need to set up and shoot your scene correctly. Set your camera on a tripod so every scene is exactly the same. If it's not, you'll end up getting something that looks like this. You might get lucky, however. We forgot to film Doug in this scene, but we did film him in this scene here. Luckily, I was able to take this scene of Doug because we filmed it at a similar angle and put it into this scene here and just move it around in 3D space until we got it to look just like it matches, and we got a second Doug for free. You won't always get this lucky, however, so be careful when you're shooting your scene. Now you need to shoot your scene with your actors standing in different places around the room to get all of your clones. To make it easier on yourself, try not to have any of your clones overlap, similar to this shot. If they don't overlap, all you have to do is drag your shots into the same scene and grab the pen tool by pushing G, and then just drawing a line between the empty space of your actors. If something happens like this where the clone that you want to stay disappears, just switch it from add to subtract. Now we've got this awkward line right here, and I don't really like that. What ends up happening when you see this is that people realize that the scene was made in post. So what you want to do is you want to grab the masked feather and set it to a small value around, we found 7 to work nice for this shot here. And that just blends it together and it makes it look like it's all one shot and you actually have a clone. Now, if you're like us and enjoy a challenge, you can have your clones overlap and make a more dynamic shot. To do this, you need to first edit out frame by frame any thing or person overlapping in front of the other clones. For us, that would be us sitting on the couch. You can edit them out in a couple of ways. The first is use the roto brush tool here, but I can never get it to work good, so I'm just going to use the pen tool again. Start by drawing around your actors. You need to find the sweet spot and number of points to use. You need to use a lot so that if your actor moves in some way, that you have enough to smoothly edit out the background. Be careful not to use too many points, however, because as your actor moves, the more points you would have to move with him, which makes the editing longer. But if you use too little, your actor doesn't come out smooth and it's actually blocky. So you need to find the sweet spot. Once you've edited it out, you need to start moving it frame by frame. So push the page up and page down button on your keyboard and that'll move it to the previous and next frame. And then you just need to move it around. And just do this for every single shot. To make it easier on yourself, duplicate the layer and get rid of the mask so that you can see the background so you know where to move the point. Now that you've edited every single frame by frame, you can start putting in clones into the background. Grab the shot of your clones in the background and place it under your foreground shot. This is where you'll see any mistakes in your edit. Your scene might look like this if it wasn't close enough, where you can see around the edge of Doug's head. This happened to me when I was editing. So you can just go back in and pull them closer to make it look nicer. Also, use a small masked feather, about 5 or so, to blend in your shot. Now, to add more clones, just drop them under the first scene and mask away the empty parts. You do not want any of your clones to overlap here. As you can see, this clone overlaps, and so does this Tyler right here. You can see that here, my back is edited out. This is because I didn't want to frame by frame mask it out. For this Tyler here, I just simply made it a freeze frame shot by right-clicking and going to time and clicking freeze frame. And then I only had to edit one frame of Tyler instead of all of the frames of Tyler. So that made it very easy to edit. Now you just need to mask out all of your clones and to get it all together. This is me doing it, and it gets a little tricky sometimes because you need to remember which clone is on which layer so you know which to do. For this, I masked around Tyler and made everything else around him disappear, so we could have the things behind him show up. Now, the only part I don't like about this scene are the lines that we're getting up in this corner, up in this area. So to fix this, I just took one shot, freeze framed it, and then masked around the ceiling. And then I just set a nice feather to it, around 10, 20, 30, and then it all blends in and it all looks like it's one nice shot. And that's how I finished this up. Sometimes it's easier to put your clones in the background before you edit out the foreground, like this shot here. This is easier because you can see what points you want to move and what points you don't have to move, like these points around Doug. To do the scene where Doug is hitting himself, you just drop in both of your scenes and then mask around one of your Dougs. For this, you want to add in many points towards the middle where his fist is going to be to mask that around. So you just drop in your other scene, and then you just frame by frame mask anything that is over the mask. So for now, I'm editing around the left Doug's arm just to get it in the shot, and then as the right Doug's fist comes into the screen, you have to mask around that. And luckily, they both cover each other up, so you don't have to go too crazy in the editing process. So once you've done it frame by frame, you line up your shots and then boosh. Why are you hitting yourself? Get it? Is that a good joke? Did I make you laugh? One thing I don't like about this shot is that you can see in the mirror back here, you can see little old Tim watching the camera. Luckily, I was able to fix this by just duplicating one of the layers, freeze framing, and then masking out this part of the wall and then just covering that up with the mirror. And then you just freeze frame it, feather it out, and then voila. You've got yourself no more Tim. To do a moving shot where the camera is moving, like I did with the scene where Doug was arguing with himself, you have to be very careful. You want to have the camera moving at the same speed and moving at the same time as other shots. To do this, I just had Doug say all of his lines, no matter where he was standing, like this.
Well, not this one. He killed Austin.
That wasn't me, Doug. That was that Doug.
Well, not that one. He killed Austin.
Not me, Doug. It was that Doug.
It wasn't me, it was him.
If you set it up correctly and your scenes match, it's really easy to edit. All you have to do is set up a vertical frame on the mask and just have the mask move along with the pan. If you do it correctly, it should look like this. Now, if you don't set it up correctly, it looks like this.
Well, not this one. He killed Austin.
That wasn't me, Doug. That was that Doug.
Gross. Super gross.
So, adding in blood is just like adding in your clones. You just drop in your blood, and then you want to move it, size it up, move it along, and then to make it look like it's actually on the wall, you click the button so it's in 3D space, and then rotate it around so it looks like it's actually on the wall. And then to get it behind Doug, you just frame by frame mask out the foreground, which is Doug, and then you put that over it, and then boosh. Blood on the wall behind your actor, it looks great. And that's basically how I did the entire movie. If you want to do this all for free, you can. All you need to do is download HitFilm 3 Express from their website. HitFilm 3 Express doesn't have all of the features that HitFilm 3 Professional does, but it still works. I know what you're thinking.
But Tim, how can we make good movies if it's free? Wouldn't it be less professional?
And the answer, luckily, is no. If you don't believe me, check out this film here called Portal Combat, made by Ryan Connolly from Film Riot. It's seriously amazing, and he did the entire thing in HitFilm. Go watch that. The other good thing about HitFilm is that it has special effects software and regular editing software all in one version, so you can edit and compose VFX shots all in one for free. It's actually very similar to do in HitFilm that you do in After Effects. Just drop in your scene, use the pen tool right here to drop out your foreground, and then go frame by frame using period and the comma buttons to get it. Make sure you click this button here, which is like the stopwatch in After Effects. I'm not going to do it here because whenever I do it, my computer crashes because of the recording software I'm using. But click this button and then go frame by frame using the period and comma, and mask around your mask. Then just add a feather, and boom, you've got the same movie that I did, you just did it in the software that you get for free. So that's all for this tutorial video. I hope that you enjoyed. If there's anything that you wanted to see that I didn't put in, let me know and I'll make a quick follow-up tutorial right away. If there's something that you want more in detail, I'll go and I'll do an actual tutorial where I can give you the files that I used and we can go step by step along the way instead of a quick dumbed down version like this one. Also, I would like to say that I'm not getting paid by HitFilm or Film Riot. I just love their products. So I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below what you would like to see in the future, what types of videos, if you want to see more tutorials, more short films, whatever, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Boop, boop.